Have you ever stood on a beach and watched a ship sail away? You'll notice the hull disappears first, then the sails, until it sinks completely beneath the horizon. Now, if the Earth were flat, that ship would just get smaller and smaller, like a toy boat shrinking into the distance. It wouldn't vanish from the bottom up. For thousands of years, sailors and skygazers have seen this exact effect, long before we had satellites or Google Earth. So, let's take this big cosmic question for a spin. Is the Earth actually flat? The idea of a flat Earth might sound like something out of the Dark Ages, but it's surprisingly persistent today. You've probably seen the memes, the forums, and the YouTube videos passionately arguing that NASA fakes all its photos, that Antarctica is a giant ice wall encircling us, and that gravity is just some made-up force. But let's set aside the conspiracy theories for a moment and look at what we can actually see, touch, and measure for ourselves. First up, let's talk about sunsets. If the Earth were a flat disk, every sunset would happen at the same time for everyone. But we know that's not true. When the sun is setting in New York, people in California still have 3 more hours of daylight. On a flat world, the sun would have to act like a giant spotlight, only lighting up certain regions at once. If that were the case, you wouldn't get those beautiful slow transitions of sunrise and sunset. Day would just snap on, and night would just snap off, like someone flipping a giant light switch in the sky. Not very romantic, is it? Next, think about airplanes. When pilots plan long-distance routes, they use something called a great circle, which is the shortest path between 2 points on a sphere. This is why a flight from the US to Asia often appears to curve up over the Arctic on a flat map. If the Earth were flat, the shortest path would be a simple straight line. But if you've ever looked at your flight tracker on a long haul, you'll see that distinct curve. That's because you're literally flying around a globe. And what about gravity, our silent, ever-present friend? On a flat Earth, gravity would have to pull everything toward the center of the disk. That would mean the farther you moved from the center, the more you'd feel a sideways pull. You'd feel like you were standing on a permanent slope, and rivers would start flowing diagonally. Good luck trying to build a level house in that world. But that's not what we experience. No matter where you are on the planet, down always feels the same. Drop your phone in Tokyo or Toronto. It falls straight to the ground. This only makes sense if gravity is pulling everything toward a single central point, the center of a sphere. Let's not forget the moon. During a lunar eclipse, the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting its shadow on the lunar surface. That shadow is always, without exception, a perfect circle. No matter the time of night or the season, it's round. And what's the only shape that consistently casts a circular shadow from any angle? You guessed it. A sphere. The ancient Greeks figured this out over 2,000 years ago. A brilliant mathematician named Eratosthenes used just 2 sticks and some basic geometry to calculate the Earth's circumference with stunning accuracy. He noticed that on the same day, the sun was directly overhead in one city, while in another, it cast a small shadow. From that simple observation, he calculated that the Earth was about 40,000 kilometers around, almost exactly what our modern satellites tell us today. And speaking of satellites, they are the unsung heroes of our modern world. They're the reason you can check the weather forecast, get GPS directions to a new restaurant, or binge-watch videos from the other side of the planet. If the Earth were flat, satellites would need some serious magic to stay in orbit, because orbits only work around spherical bodies with a center of mass. But here's the most important thing. Most people who historically believed the Earth was flat weren't foolish. They just didn't have the tools to see the bigger picture. From our perspective on the ground, the world does look flat. Our eyes and our daily experiences aren't designed to perceive planetary scale curvature. It's like standing on a beach ball the size of a planet. The curve is so gentle it hides just beyond the horizon. We humans are wired to trust what we see, and that's both a strength and a blind spot. The round Earth isn't just a theory. It's a conclusion drawn from thousands of years of independent observations. Physics, astronomy, navigation, photography, and even the location services on your smartphone all point to the same beautiful spherical shape. And if you're still curious, you can test it yourself. Watch a lunar eclipse, track the International Space Station gliding across your night sky, or simply notice that the stars you see in the northern hemisphere are different from those in the southern hemisphere. That simple fact alone proves we're standing on a curved surface. So no, the Earth isn't flat, but it's understandable why it might have seemed that way. The real beauty of science is that it empowers us to look beyond what seems obvious and uncover what is true. It's not about mocking beliefs. It is about embracing curiosity, the same spark that made our ancestors look up at the stars and wonder. Because when you finally realize we're all spinning together on this vast blue marble, Fragile, glowing, and alive in the darkness of space, the world doesn't seem flat at all. It seems miraculous. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into science and curiosity, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.